Alright. Hello, Monica. We're back, baby. Greetings, one and all. We are back here again at Doki Doki Literature Club. Sorry for the delay. I've had some personal things going on with my life. Won't bore you with that. But we're back here now. No more delays. I mean, to be fair, I did need a little bit of a break in between completing the story mode and what we're doing next. But we will now move on with the most anticipated and the whole reason why I actually bought this game a second time. Doki Doki Literature Club plus side stories. We will be beginning with this Trust Part 1. I have managed to stay completely spoiler-free for these. Not that I think there's any big spoiler things, but it's mainly just story. I'm very curious what these are going to be about. So without further ado, let's begin this side story. Trust Part 1. This music's different. Oh, wow. This is a new area. Completely new. And the literature club. Oh, but it's lit differently. Okay, everyone. That didn't scare me. There will be no curse things in these side stories, I hope at least.
Okay, everyone. The literature club is starting. Let's all have a seat and take attendance, okay? I miss debate club. Who knew it would be so difficult to start a new club?
I miss doing these voices.
I feel worse with every day that passes without anyone coming in. I'm really starting to lose confidence.
No, Monica, stay strong. Monica is the only member of the literature club. Oh. In the days that have passed, all of her efforts to recruit new members have been fruitless.
Am I going about this wrong?
Monica glances at one of her flyers. The headline is, "Do you like literature?"
Maybe nobody is into literature enough to pick it over at other club interests. I can't just rely on people liking literature.
It's like Minecraft music almost.
I need to sell them on a vision. A vision! But what kind of vision?
Monica rests her head on her desk, deep in thought. Before she realized it, the recent nights of staying up too late start to catch up to her. It's so quiet, and the noise of the air conditioner is soothing. Yeah, this is definitely jarring. I don't know what to expect. Hello? Oh, that was... What the fuck? Suddenly, a voice causes Monica to snap awake. That was some weird stuff.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I never do this.
Is this the Dappy Club?
No, this is not Chunibyo.
No, this is...
Monica pauses, suddenly embarrassed to admit that this is, in fact, the literature club.
This is the literature club.
Yay, I thought I got it wrong for a sec.
I'm super sorry. It was like so unprofessional for me to do that.
Don't apologize. I do it all the time.
Oh,
Did I miss the club meeting? Where is everybody?
well, about that. This is everybody.
Really? Just you?
But we're getting more members. I'm working really hard on it.
Hold on a sec.
It's like a trap remix of the literature club theme.
Hold on a sec. If it's just you, that means I get to be vice president.
Okay, I get these. All this is just stuff that takes place before everything else. That makes sense.
Wait, vice president? What are your qualifications?
Well, I'm better at nothing than you. Maybe I should be president.
You'll get your way, don't worry.
Now you're just making fun of me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was your name?
Sayori.
Okay, Sayori. I've been really trying really hard on this club. I know you caught me at a weird time, but it's really disheartening to not be taken seriously, you know. I care so much about this. I just want to find other people who do too.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I do care, I promise. I have a hard time being serious, that's all. I didn't mean for it to hurt you. And I was joking about the vice president thing too. I'd make a terrible vice president.
This music is bumping.
I mean, I'm sure that...
Monica tries to say something reassuring, but it's difficult when she still doesn't know much about Sayori.
I'm sorry that this isn't like a real club yet. Would you still be interested in joining after I found more members, at least?
Well, no. I want to join now.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, I can tell how hard you've been working. You're doing something amazing, and you should be proud of it, you know? So let me help you turn something stressful into something fun. If nothing else, I'm good at that, so...
Honestly, how could I possibly say no to that? That's really sweet of you, Sayori. Oh, I'm Monica, by the way.
Monica! That's such a cool name.
Oh, now you're just trying to cheer me up.
But you're smiling.
Well, I didn't say it didn't work.
It's so charming. So just a breath of fresh air because of the cursed crap that we just went through in the story mode. Monica glances at the flyer on her desk and realizes that her name is already written on it.
So what do we do first?
Well, it's getting pretty late, isn't it? We can go home and try to come up with some new ideas to recruit club members.
I can do that.
Cool. And I think I need to put up some more thought into my vision for the club. You know, like a mission.
My mission is to make everyone happy.
Yeah, something like that. I need to think, about it.
She had a stroke. The stroke has begun.
Hey, do you like hugs?
Oh.
I guess so.
Sayori suddenly pulls Monica into a friendly hug, then lets go.
Some people could just really use a hug sometimes. Besides,
Sayori whispers loudly.
hug energy is what keeps me at my best.
Hug energy?
Monica laughs. Although Sayori is very different from her, Monica feels her spirits lifted. Maybe it's just because she finally found another club member. But
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow then. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna think really hard tonight about how to get more people.
Yeah, me too.
nice. Is that the end? Nope, there's more. A day passes and the time comes for the literature club. Monica and Sayori to reconvene. Okay. As president, Monica ensures that she's the first to arrive to the club room. Yeah, that changes over time. But she finds herself waiting longer than expected for Sayori.
It's been 10 minutes already. Maybe Sayori changed her mind about joining.
Oh, how could you say no to that face?
No, that can't be. She was so excited yesterday. But I'm kind of getting worried.
Suddenly, Sayori comes bounding through the door. In her hand, she's holding a sheet of paper.
Sorry, I'm late. I'm here.
It's okay. Welcome back.
And?
Sayori spins over to Monica and deposits the sheet into Monica's desk.
What's this?
Oh, is she like the first one to write a poem? That's nice.
Take my hand. Take my hand. Take me forward. Take me to your dreamland. Caution me to watch my step, so I can't look back at my footprints. Climb the stairs ahead of me while I look up at you. The more I look forward, the more I look up. The more I can lend you. If you can trust me to follow your pace, I'll trust you to set it. If you can trust me to lend you a smile, I'll trust you to return it. Take my hand. Take me forward. Take me to your dreamland.
Ocean Man.
Hey, this is really good. You wrote this, Sayori?
Of course. Wait, no. That's the wrong side of the paper.
Huh?
I wasn't ready to share that yet. I'm so embarrassed.
Monica flips over the paper. Written on the other side is a list of ideas for recruiting new club members.
Oh, so this is what you meant to show me. But I'm curious now, do you write poetry often?
So this is where she gets the idea.
I do, but I'm sure I'm not anywhere near as good as you are.
Really? I'm actually terrible at writing poetry. I'm better at writing other things, though. I've never written anything I was happy with. Like, I always read it again a week after I write it, and I'm like, Wow, this is so stupid. I don't know. It's like a dramatic version of me doesn't agree with the person I want myself to be or something like that.
No, you should have more confidence in yourself. You're the literature club president.
I guess you're not wrong there. I need to, like, set a good example or whatever.
They've really given her like that sassy kind of writing.
You know, I can envision the club doing something like that.
Doing what?
You know, like sharing poems we write and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I would love that. It's such a good way to learn about other people, you know? It's like we have so many emotions that we can't express to other people usually. But you can when it's a poem, though.
Yeah. I think that's helping me form a more cohesive vision for the club. So, I'm glad you showed me. Well, even though it was by accident.
Me too. I felt embarrassed at first, but now it feels like kind of good that someone else read it. I'll try to show you more of them in the future.
I'd love that. Oh geez, I'm getting distracted. Do you want to go over this recruitment brainstorm together?
My brain stormed so hard. It was like a brain hurricane. A hurricane. A broke-a-cane. My brain is a natural disaster.
Yeah, that is very true. True.
Sayori, that's terrible. Anyway, let's take a look at the list.
Make cupcakes. I was hungry. But it's a good idea. Maybe we should get someone, you know? Isn't it?
Let me think about this. I mean, when would we have the chance to give people cupcakes?
You know, like when they come into the club. Well, what if we said we had free cupcakes on the flyers?
I'm, like, kind of worried that would bring the wrong kind of people, you know?
Wrong kinds?
People would come just for the cupcakes and then leave.
Ah, nobody would do that. That would be mean.
Well, they are high schoolers.
But you know, I want to find people who are really into literature. Even if they don't know it yet. Let's see, the next thing on the list. Hunt for people reading books. I don't think I get it.
Like, go around the school and find people who are reading books, you know? Like in the morning or during lunch. And we tell them to check out the literature club.
Well, the problem with that is, like, wouldn't most people reading books just be doing it for an assignment or something? How would we know if they're just reading for fun?
Well, we could ask them. But then we'd be bothering people who are trying to do schoolwork. I didn't think about that part yet, I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. You're coming up with a lot more things than I can. Oh, your next idea is to hand out flyers rather than just put them up on the wall. I'd definitely like to start doing that.
I'm useful.
I never said you weren't. Yet. I just need to think what would we tell people when handing them out.
I need to remember, this is all going to be innocent, like just innocent storytelling, little side stories. I shouldn't be all like, just really goading at the fact that Monica's a supervillain.
I don't want to just be like, join the literature club. Let's figure out how we can better engage people.
I also noticed you can't save.
What if you told them about the club activities and stuff?
What club activities? Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be my job to come up with that, right? A vision for the club. Okay, Sayori, pretend you're a normal person for a second.
It's going to be hard for her.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You know, like a random passerby who's getting a flyer. How would you react to the idea of the literature club?
Probably like, you're stupid. I'm joining the anime club.
Hey, don't be throwing shade at me.
What the heck?
Sorry, I was just thinking of a friend of mine.
Okay, what if I said that we, like, do a group reading and discuss it together?
I would probably nap through that.
That's you, Sayori.
Yeah, but that doesn't really sound like fun to most people anyway. We need to really catch their interest, you know?
Ugh. All this sucks. Why is this so hard?
Monica, don't be sad.
What do you like about literature, Sayori?
Me? Well, kind of what I said about the poem earlier. I think it gives you the chance to express yourself. Like, express yourself in ways that you can't normally do when you're just doing your normal day and talking to your friends. I mean, we all have so many thoughts and feelings that we just don't get to share, you know? It's like intimate.
Yeah. How do we get that across to people? Well, or we could be like, express your true self.
Be intimate with us. Yikes.
Okay, that's kind of...
I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh.
What is it?
I forgot all my things in my classroom. I must have gotten too excited and rushed here, silly me.
Rushed, but we weren't... Nah, never mind. Do you want to get your stuff then?
I'll forget it if I don't do it now.
Well, I'll wait for you then.
Okay, it'll only take a second.
Sayori dashes out of the classroom, leaving Monica momentarily alone. It's a dangerous thing to do. Monica sighs and starts jotting her thoughts on a sheet of paper.
Express yourself. Be who you want to be. Make new friends. Discover a new you. Discover your heart. Now, write your heart out. No, write into your heart.
Don't tell that to Yuri.
Write the way into your heart. Join the literature club. Write the way into your heart.
That's the song. Is this how she comes up with the song?
Wow, that's lame.
Monica!
You startled me.
Sorry, but something is important. On my way to the classroom, there was a girl reading a book.
Reading a book?
Let's hurry and recruit her.
Wait, are you sure she's not just doing homework?
I could tell she was really into it.
Well, I guess we could take a look.
Monica grabs one of her flyers and stands up from her desk. The two depart the classroom with Sayori leading the way.
This way.
You don't have to run.
Sayori leads Monica over to a particular classroom and lowers her voice to a whisper.
See, in there.
Monica peers through a window. Sure enough, there's a girl sitting alone and intently reading a book.
I feel like a creep doing this.
You should go inside and talk to her.
Me? You're not the president. And it would probably scare her anyway. I would scare her anyway. Fine, I'll do it.
Monica takes a deep breath and timidly enters the classroom. It's Yuri, right?
That was fast. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Why? What happened? Well, I entered the classroom and she didn't even look up from her book. So I just kind of left the flyer on her desk and walks out.
Oh, Monica.
That's kind of cute.
Oh, I've never seen her make that face. Nice. Cute.
But I'm sure she'll see it and want to join the club.
I hope so. Shall we head back now?
The two head back to the clubroom, Sayori feeling rather accomplished. Monica still feeling a bit embarrassed by the encounter. Upon returning, Monica and Sayori resume their strategy meeting. They discover various kinds of recruitment tactics, from professional to silly. After going through Sayori's list, and with Monica coming up with ideas of her own, the two end in a better spot than when they began.
Well, I would say today was pretty productive, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think we're starting to make progress. I can't wait to get some new members. Huh? What's this?
Sayori appears with a sheet of paper Monica was jotting on earlier.
Oh, don't mind that. I was just thinking to myself.
Join the literature club.
Write the way into your heart.
That's so cute.
I thought it was a little overdramatic. But
Sayori pauses and thinks for a moment.
You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
what do you mean?
Like,
I don't know. I feel like I could tell from talking to you today.
it seems like you're always afraid of doing something wrong.
Yeah, but
Would you call yourself a perfectionist?
yeah. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, I always have an idea in my head of how I want things to go. And it's like, I can't accept anything less than that. But I think in the end, it helps me try my hardest at everything. So I don't think it's that bad. Like, with this club, we have such an opportunity to make it exactly how we want to envision it. But it feels like we only have one shot at this. So I'm just really afraid of devastating from that, the vision.
What's the vision?
It's...
Monica pauses to think, then shakes her head to herself. She sighs.
I don't know. I just want everyone to...
Monica trails off. Smiling, Sayori taps her fingers against the sheet of paper. Right the way into your heart.
I think what you're trying to do is make the club that you need the most out of everyone. Well, you're the one who knows yourself the best, of course. But I'm here to help you.
Monica returns Sayori's smile.
It's sort of amazing how kind you are. We're gonna make this the best club ever.
Sayori nods and the two remain silent for a moment, lost in thought. The only sound is a steady whisper of the air conditioner. And the only movement is the afternoon sunlight trickling its way in and out of the moving clouds. Sayori breaks the moment with a big yawn.
Time to go home.
You tell me, you're the president.
In that case, today's meeting is officially over. I look forward to tomorrow.
Me too.
Sayori beams and grabs her things. I thought that said grabbed her thighs.
You can go on ahead. I still need a few minutes.
Oh, I can wait.
That's alright, I just want some alone time.
In that case,
Sayori waves enthusiastically at Monica.
good luck.
Monica smiles and waves in return as Sayori spins her way out of the club room. All alone, she sighs to herself and takes a minute to zone out. She wasn't prepared for the self-reflection encouraged by Sayori, but she decides it was something she probably needed right about now.
The club that I need the most. I don't get it. I just wanted to start a club with more passion. Something that I could use to help lead people to happiness. Literature is the key to that. Because it's the window to the real person inside of us. Underneath, the person who's forced to always smile and blend in. The person is forced to be perfect.
Monica suddenly notices a folder on the floor by her desk.
Did Sayori leave this behind? I hope it doesn't have her homework in it.
Worried, Monica opens the folder to check.
Poems.
It's a folder of poems. Become the flower. A feeling of joy as a flower plucked from the ground. The color, the scent, it's so pretty in my hair. Every day I pluck some flowers as though they grew just for me. A lifetime of peace and nourishment yanked away in an instant. All for me, all for joy. I need more. I need more joy. I need more happy. Pluck, pluck, pluck every day. Pluck, 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 so pretty in my hair. Pluck, 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 you're going to die and you too. Beneath my feet, a flower stands alone. It beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging runes, caressing the final joyous moments between my fingers. But to what ends? I look in every direction, and the field I stand in, the prosperous field, is a barren wasteland. The fruits of my labor, the carnage of my joy. And that's why I've decided I must become the flower. Wait. Is this the one that she was dramatically being when she told us that oh, we're gonna be doing a poetry performance, and then she I kind of put on the Russian accent as she read it. I don't know. I think it might be. I don't know. There's some words in there that were kind of familiar.
What the? Wait. Sayori.
Okay, that jarred me. This popping up. That was good. What do we unlock? Ooh. Yeah, this is the new art style I've noticed. Finish side story trust 1. Sayori. Yeah, look at that. This is very different from this. I think I like it. I wish I could put multiple wallpapers on here. Unlock more poems. Acquire all of Sayori's other poems. There once was a ladybug. It was so small. It took a really long time to crawl from here to there. It was very tiring to fly for too long. Nobody squishes ladybugs because they're cute. Does that make them better than other bugs? Do ladybugs know they're cute? I think they're too preoccupied with bug things. And so the ladybug crawled around and did bug things. This story wasn't really going anywhere, but I know you don't mind. I hope you think it's nice for being there anyway. Like ladybugs. Like this ladybug. The one who clings like a doof onto your sleeve because it knows you won't squash it. If it doesn't bug you, will you stay a while? Oh yeah, we unlocked the dark classroom. Did we get the like vending machine? I think we get that in another part. All right, cool. And we unlocked new music, obviously. Like that was a bunch of new music. Cool. Anything in the files? There better not be anything in the files. All right, side stories. Trust Part 2. I think we'll do like these 4 that are here. Another day passes in a flash, and it's already time for the next club meeting. Although Monica should have come up with a plan for today's club tasks, she hasn't been able to shake her guilt and anxiety after reading Sayori's poem. Oh yeah, because that was a pretty sad poem.
I'm so stupid. How did I let myself be the center of attention? Sayori is going through all these kinds of feelings, and I'm letting her comfort me instead of the other way around. What kind of club president does that? This whole time, I didn't think to ask about her own feelings. So much for the stupid vision. Sayori enters the club room with her usual smile. But upon seeing the downcast Monica, her smile quickly fades into an expression of concern. Everything just fell.
Monica? Is everything okay?
I'm really sorry. I'm such a terrible friend.
Huh? What are you talking about? You're an amazing friend.
Monica shakes her head.
I made this all about myself. Even you said so yesterday. You told me I'm trying to make the club that I need most, right? But my problems are so trivial compared to yours.
Sayori responds quietly.
What are you talking about?
But as she says that, her face darkens. Through the silence, Sayori mutters her realization.
I left my folder here.
Monica stares blankly ahead, unable to come up with a response.
I wasn't ready to share those. Now you're worrying about me. I don't want that.
No.
But why? We're friends, right?
Wordlessly, Sayori nods.
Friends look out for each other. I want to be here for you as much as you're here for me.
Another long moment passes in silence. The air is incredibly heavy.
This is different. It wasn't just about you yesterday. It was about the club. Besides, things were so happy yesterday. You don't need to do all this all of a sudden.
I don't want it.
I like happy. So, if you do this, then you're just being selfish.
Monica massages her forehead, struggling through the frustration of such a paradox. It's understandable that Sayori isn't ready to share certain things. But as unfair as it is for Monica to pry, it's also painful for Monica to force herself to ignore the needs of her friend.
I'm sorry I looked. I disrespected your privacy.
No, I don't blame you for looking. You would have at least needed to check if it was mine.
Yeah.
Monica takes a deep breath.
Okay. I understand that you don't want me to worry. And I think I'll be able to put this aside so that we can move on. But can you promise me something?
Promise you what?
Monica pauses to collect her thoughts.
This is the Literature Club. It's a place where people can express themselves in the ways that life normally doesn't allow them to. That's the vision. In fact, it's our vision. Right the way into your heart or whatever. So, I just want you to promise that you'll remember that too. It doesn't have to be right now, but I want to be here for you when you need it. I just want us to be ourselves like that.
Sayori smiles gently.
I'll promise if you promise.
Unable to help it, Monica returns Sayori's smile.
I promise.
Me too.
As the conversation closes, the mood in the room is lifted. With that behind them, it's time to proceed with the club activities.
So, want to teach me about poetry?
Ah! What about the recruitment?
It's fine. We have plenty of time for that. But right now, I feel like I want to do this. I mean, I do have to fulfill my end of the promise, you know.
There's no way I could say no to that. Just don't expect much. I do a lot of writing, but it's not like I'm a scholar or anything.
That's fine. I think I just like some motivation. I never know where to start when it comes to writing poems.
Starting isn't so hard. You kind of just need to write down your feelings and see where it takes you.
Yeah, but that wouldn't come out any good.
It's not supposed to. You're gonna have to fight your perfectionist mind on this one. You can just start off by writing your feelings and see what kinds of things it makes you think of. And then you can turn your feelings into a little story. You can get your feelings down first and then make it sound pretty later. It's not like building a railroad, where you go from one end to the other. It's more like a collage, where you find all the things you want to put in, and then you arrange them in a pretty way. At least that's how I do it. It's not like it's the only way. But it's a really good way to not get stuck right at the beginning.
I understand. Yeah, I always get so caught up in how it sounds that I forget what's actually important.
Monica pulls out a pen and paper and starts writing on it.
Stop being a perfectionist. You idiot. You baka. I'm just kidding.
Monica scribbles out, "You idiot," after she writes it down.
No, keep it. You are an idiot.
What? Why? Are you calling me an idiot?
Of course not. The point is that you're not supposed to police your own feelings, right? Be as dramatic as you want.
But I was just... Well, yeah.
Underneath the scribble, Monica rewrites, "You idiot." She stares at the paper. Her words stare back at her.
It's kind of funny how I wrote down what I'm mad at myself for, and then I did the exact thing anyway. This is gonna take some getting used to. I believe in you. Thanks. I do too. Me, I mean. But also you, of course.
Monica continues the exercise, jotting down her thoughts. It's surprisingly quite a struggle to write without overthinking it. But after a while, with Sayori's guidance and encouragement, Monica's sheet of paper begins to look fairly lively, peppered with all of her random thoughts. It's interesting because normally all this narration part would be like the main character, but now the main character's not here, so it's just a narrator now. Monica looks up and down her sheet.
Gosh, I feel so tense looking at this. I hate it. It's also kind of liberating.
Mm-hmm. I can tell how hard you're trying. It makes me happy. I think you'll be good at writing poems.
Never would have guessed that Sayori was the one to really teach Monica how to write poems. These side stories are quite expendable. Right? Quite expanding.
Don't give me too much credit. I'd have to try really hard at it, but I think it's something I'll enjoy doing. With you.
Sayori beams.
I'll stop here, but we still have time. Let's try to work on a new flyer for the club. It won't be so picky about the language.
Yay, let's do it.
Monica and Sayori proceed with their work. With each passing day, the two of them become more and more confident in the club. Not simply from their recruitment planning, but from their vision as well. As their bond strengthens, so does the essence of the literature club. Finally, they begin to truly feel it's only a matter of time before they find more members. Is that where this ends? Nope, there's some more. Another day passes. As usual, Monica is the first one to the club room. With her is a printout of the revised literature club flyer, complete with all the new ideas Monica and Sayori came up with.
If only this was the flyer we gave to that one reading girl the other day.
Is this going to end with like Yuri coming in?
It's so much more attractive than the old ones. But
The new catchphrase is featured clearly on the center of the flyer. Right the way into your heart. Surely common sense would say that one writes from the heart, not into the heart. But the message being delivered is that one can use the writing to discover themselves. Hopefully, Monica and Sayori had thought that it would be enough to garner some curiosity from the students.
Why do I feel tense looking at this?
Monica thinks back to the previous meeting when she performed the writing exercise.
Was I always this bad at expressing myself? How am I supposed to be the president if I can't even demonstrate what the club is supposed to be?
The literature club is truly beginning to take form. But with that, the weight on Monica's shoulders becomes only heavier. Debate club was always about rigid structure, formulating airtight points and counterpoints, and delivering them with conviction. It was about the person on the outside. That's why Monica was so good at it. It existed entirely within her realm of comfort.
It's suffocating. I need to break through this mental wall.
Maybe you should break through the fourth wall.
I need to learn to express myself for real.
Monica pulls out a sheet of paper and grabs her pen. She presses the tip of the pen firmly against the paper. But her hand doesn't move. Instead, a tiny blot of ink collects around the tip of her pen. Ah! So this is where her writing tip of the day comes from. Monica lifts her pen and stares at the little blotch. For some reason, she feels compelled to run her finger across it. As she does, the black ink smears across the paper, ruining Monica's canvas. Out of spite for herself, Monica presses her pen down again, letting the ink collect. She creates a second smear on the paper.
Come on, Monica. Just move your hand. Right the way into his heart. But in this world of... Full stop.
Monica writes. Oh, wow. I was wondering if they were actually going to show it.
This is what I get for seeking perfection. A stain.
Jeez. That's actually an interesting poem. I mean, obviously it's not... anything could really be a poem, but... Monica slides the paper away from her and puts her head down on the desk. Back here again. The air conditioner seems louder today. I'm here!
Hi.
Monica hears Sayori approach her desk, then stop for a second, probably reading the piece of paper. Then she sits down in the adjacent desk. Bad day?
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
You too?
The new flyer looks so good. You've been working so hard
See how she changes the subject?
on the club, but also something else, I think.
I can't do that. I'm sorry. It's so hard to just be vulnerable.
Sarah takes the sheet of paper from Monica's desk. She writes something down, then stares at it for a while.
Can I trust you?
Of course. You can trust me with anything.
Sayori gazes at Monica with sadness in her eyes. Understanding the signal, Monica takes the paper from Sayori's desk and reads it. Notice how the music cut.
Sayori?
This is really, really hard for me.
Her voice shakes.
So if I can't do it, then you can too. Because you're like a million times better than me.
That's completely not true.
Sarah takes a deep breath, trying to steady herself.
That's something about me I've never told anyone before. Even now, My head is, like, screaming at me to stop.
Wait, you don't have to force yourself. I mean, just because of the promise yesterday.
I want to.
It just feels right.
I mean, maybe it's part of the reason I came to this club in the first place. This is the literature club. I trust you more than I'm scared.
At those words, Monica stands up. Saria must have taken days to work up the courage for this. Were Monica's own futile but genuine efforts actually the push that Sayori needed? Sayori's deliberate breaths can be heard over the air conditioner. As she prepares herself to continue, Monica waits in gentle silence.
I have this problem where I get really upset when people worry about me too much. I can't control it. It's like, why waste your energy worrying about me when you could just be happy instead? So whenever I tell anyone about these kinds of thoughts I have, it's so much easier to just smile and help everyone else be happy.
But that's terrible.
That's what Monica wants to say, but she stops herself in fear of saying the wrong thing.
It's just that if everyone knew about it, they wouldn't treat me the same anymore. Like, whenever I'm not smiling, everyone would worry about me and ask me what's wrong. I know that because it used to be like that.
Sayori pauses, seeming to recall something from the past.
I just want everyone to be happy. That's the most important thing to me. And letting people look inside my head doesn't bring happiness to anyone.
Sayori pauses again, her solemn expression making her look almost like an entirely different person.
How did you manage to find the courage to tell me this?
You're not... Oh, shoot. What'd she say?
You're not worried that I'll be one of those people too?
I am worried. Part of me really hates myself for doing this. But another part of me, I think, just felt like it would be different this time. Whenever we talk about what the club is supposed to be, I keep feeling like it was right for me to do. Especially after you've been trying so hard to express yourself too. It just made me feel like I could say it in confidence, and our friendship doesn't have to change. It's so silly. The club is only 2 people, but it already means this much to me.
Monica feels a tightening sensation in her heart. A feeling of connection as Sayori emotions radiate between them.
Me too. I was so lost until you showed up. You're so brave, Sayori. You're so strong and brave. I don't even compare.
Monica steps forward.
But if nothing else, I can at least offer you some hug energy. If you'd like. Oh.
Wordlessly, and without a smile, Sayori rests her forehead on Monica's shoulder. Through their contact, Monica can almost feel the torrent of thoughts swimming in Sayori's head. And in this moment, enchanted by the air of the club, Monica realizes that all of the days that have passed, this is the one where she really, really hopes that nobody new walks through the door. She speaks softly.
You're like the sweetest girl I've ever met. You can say anything. I'll never judge you. I promise.
Sayori's breath begins to quiver. She takes several deep breaths, trying as hard as she can to start speaking, to say the things she never once dared to say out loud. Finally, she speaks in a choked voice. I'm so worthless. I'm worthless, and everyone would be better off without me. She suppresses a sob as a tear falls down her cheek. I'm just an inconvenience to everyone. I'm not good at anything, and it just feels like everyone just has to put up with me, and I hate it. I hate it. The more Sayori speaks, the more she fails to control her voice, falling victim to the overwhelming sadness clutching at her throat and chest. I don't want to have these thoughts. I want them to go away. And now I'm making you put up with me. And I just want to die. As soon as Sayori loses her composure, Monica becomes determined to keep her own. She only wants to be what Sayori needs right now. So she won't let any sadness show. Her voice comes through as soft and gentle. This isn't putting up with you. This is just being your friend. Monica offers a few words of comfort. But she knows, Sayori said it herself, that the thoughts Sayori experiences are ones that don't belong. And Monica can't magically make them go away. The most she can do is help Sayori battle them, like any good friend would do. You have so much value. To me, and your other friends too. This club wouldn't have been the same without you. I really, really mean that. You coming here was the best thing that could have happened. Even if we never got any other members, I would still be happy. That's what you brought here. You brought us a vision, and you also brought happiness. And that's your favorite thing to do, right? Sayori doesn't respond, but Monica feels her gently nod. No more words are needed between them. The two share their embrace for a while longer, Monica letting Sayori take as much time as she needs. Once her breathing steadies and her sniffles fully cease, Sayori lifts her head and wipes her eyes. I guess I needed that. Some days are harder than others. Well, I'm here whenever you need me. But any other time, I'll make sure that things are the way they usually are. If that makes you happy. Thanks. You're the best. No, you are. The two exchange smiles. You know, I'm sorry to bring this up all of a sudden, but have you considered talking to a professional? Sayori nods. It's scary, since it's already so hard to tell people. Yeah. Well, of course, it would always be your choice, but if you ever are looking to find the courage for it, I can do my best to help you. Thanks. I think it helps knowing that you would. Sayori suddenly yawns and stretches. That made me tired.
and hungry.
Well, I won't make you do any work today if you're not up for it.
No, I want to. I mean, I could say that it's definitely one thing that makes me happy.
Monica smiles.
But I want to get a snack first.
All of a sudden, the sound of the door causes the two of them to turn their heads. The door opens halfway, then stops. A face peeks inside. That's terrifying. A face that seems familiar. Okay. Oh my gosh, geez, that was brutal. But it was great. I loved that. That was. I'm guessing we got that as a yep. Oh, why'd you have to make it the sad one? Can you at least give me the one of her smiling? I should probably change this. Because every time like it cuts and goes back to this, I get scared. But this is a completely different Monica from what we just saw. That was very good. That was very, very good. I love that so much. Hug energy. So yeah, that was that completed. And now we have understanding. I'm guessing that these all connect. Because like obviously the one they saw in there was Yuri. So and this next part is dealing with Yuri. But geez, man, that was brutal as hell. I loved it though. I mean, it wasn't so much brutal. It just hit really hard. Because I've been there. Both the one that's needed someone and has had to comfort someone. And it's not easy. And I completely understood Monica just like having to keep her composure. Like that takes willpower. That does take some willpower. Especially when you have someone that's like really breaking down with you. It's like it's not easy. That part, trust part 1 and part 2, that was really good. Again, the thing says that there's 6 of these, but I don't know. We'll do this one next. I say let's cut off this one here. I've been going for almost an hour on this one, which is longer than I thought. So I guess we're making this a two-parter. We'll do the understanding one next time. But as for me, I'm just going to be jumping right into the next one, but just for the sake of editing and whatnot, we're just going to split this up into 2 parts. So, until the next part, I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.